Morning, hope you're doing very well. So today we are going to be looking at the first lecture. Okay, let's look at the first lecture for revenue management. I'll just share my slides and screen. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, let's get to it. So we are on our first lecture, which is HOP, Revenue Management 2025. So by the end of this, you need to know what is the yield, what is revenue management, the history of revenue management, the terminologies that we're going to use for revenue management, how to maximize and maximize our revenue when you are having low demand, and also how to maximize revenue when you are having a high demand for your particular place. Okay, so let's look into it in more detail. So what is yield? When it comes to F&B, you get out of the pen, it's what you get out of the pen compared to what you put in to the pen. So we're looking at how you can actually maximize the profit from what you have. We're looking at if you have a restaurant, how can you make sure that you can serve breakfast, serve lunch, serve dinner in order for you to maximize the money that you have? How can you rent it out to make money? How can you add certain facilities to make it more profitable for you? If we're looking at specifically hospitality industry, you'll find that in a hotel, there is a spa, there is probably a gym, there is bus shuttles services for you to actually explore the town. So those are all the things that a hotel can do or offer rather for you to be able to get around the place safely while they are maximizing the profit that they have. So we're looking at when it comes to rooms, how many rooms can you sell compared to how many rooms you have? In terms of if you have like 10 rooms, how much can you sell each and every room? Are you going to charge different prices for all those rooms? And how do you determine what price you will be charging? So what is yield or what is revenue management? It's about selling the right room at the right price at the right time. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of rooms that you can offer, but how much you sell them by, it depends on whether it's on or off season. So we're looking at the right guest. Why are they here? Why is this guest there in your company? Why is it there in your hotel? Is it for business? Is it for leisure? How long they're staying? And what amount of money will you charge them to ensure you maximize your profit? So when you're looking at the yield and the revenue management, so when you're focusing on yield, we're looking at occupancy maximization. How can you make sure that this hotel is full, it's fully booked? Then when you're looking at revenue specification, we're looking at how we can maximize the revenue that we will get from this particular hotel and by using extra services or providing extra services. Let's look into this example. They say hotel industry. A hotel has 100 rooms to sell for a busy weekend. We have 100 rooms that we can possibly sell for this particular busy weekend. So when we're looking specifically at yield management, you are looking at occupancy. How can you make sure that this hotel is fully booked? So when you're looking at yield management, we're looking at this hotel will or should be fully booked. What can we do? We can market it. We can decrease the prices at times. You can charge certain prices, offer discounts, partner with certain companies for them to get discounts. So here specifically, we are focusing on how we can make sure that this room or these rooms are fully booked. So that is the goal when it comes to yield management. But when you're looking at the revenue management, we're looking at how we can maximize the revenue. How can we increase the amount of money that we will get from actually having these rooms? You're looking at maybe the first day, you will charge 100 rand, and then after that, you will charge 150. And 2 days before a busy event, you will then charge a certain amount of money to maximize your profits. In that way, you're not charging the same amount for all the rooms, but you are charging differently based on why are the people there, when are they booking, how long are they staying, and why are they staying in your company. You can offer certain services such as shuttles. You can offer certain services such as a spa where they can do their pedicure, their manicures in order for them to enjoy their stay with you. That is how you can maximize your profit or the revenue you generating for this particular hotel. So how much to charge for a room? It depends on the type of hotel that you're looking at, the benchmarking, the season. Where are we? Are we in an off season, off peak, or on peak? So we're looking at economic environment. If you're looking at the South African economy at this point, are we in recession, depression? Are we prospering as an economy? Do people have money to play around to actually say, I can pay 10,000 for one night in a particular hotel? We're looking at the type of guest. Are you looking at premium users? Are you looking at people that just want to sleep for one day or one night for them to actually get to their next destination? Are you looking at certain caliber of individuals that you will be attracting? So those are all the things that you need to put into effect in order for you to see exactly how much you should charge for a room. What are you offering even to the customer? Are you offering premium treatment? Are you offering certain things that other hotels are not offering? So in that way, it will guide you how much you will be charging. Okay, how then do we focus occupancy? We focused our occupancy based on the history trends analysis. We look at the lead times. When is it that at times people want to book your hotel the most? We're looking at groups. Are they booking as a group or are they booking as individual? Is it a demand? Is it a season where people are demanding this particular service, like December? We're looking at January. We're looking at certain days in the year where people are most likely to take a holiday. So looking at events, are there people booking your event, your hotel or your guest house for a wedding? Are they booking it for birthday parties? Those are the things that you can use to forecast the occupancy. People are much more likely to have weddings around September, March, June, and then December. So you are much more likely to charge different prices than the other days. And then you're looking at the economic environment, like I said, you look at inflation, you look at what is it that is currently happening in South Africa? Can people afford the amount of money that you've put there? But also bear in mind the caliber of people that you are trying to attract. There are different types of rates that you will charge. We have reg rate, government rate, we have corporate rate, family rate. That is why at times they ask you when you're trying to book, why are you booking? What are you here for? Is it leisure? Is it family event? Is it corporate event? Is it travel agent? Is it related to an airline or something of that sort? Because they do charge differently. If you are affiliated with one of their partners, you're much more likely to get a discount. So that also comes at an advantage. If you are booking through a travel agent, they are much more likely to have a discounted rate. Then examples of basic revenue. Let us say, let's look into this example. The airline has 100 seats. The price for each and every seat is 20 euro per seat. So let's assume that there are 60 seats that have been booked. So what are you going to say? You're going to say 60 multiplied by 200 to see how much is the revenue that we are going to generate from this particular flight. So the flight that we will get the revenue is 12,000. So let's look at how we can then generate revenue differently other than just charging 200 for all the seats that we have in our airline. So we have 60 seats, which could have given us 12,000 if we were just offering 200 for each and every seat that everyone books. But you can do it differently. You can say 20 seats. If you book at least 1 week before takeoff, you are going to be charged 150. You have seen that when you are booking, even with SA Safari, Flight Safari rather, you see that the prices changes based on when you are booking, which day you are booking, and how you are booking. So 20 of the seats, they sell them 1 week before takeoff, they sell them at 150. But a day before takeoff, they decrease the amount that they are charging. And the logic will be, since they realize that people are probably not booking their flights because it's much more pricey, they are much more likely to decrease the price because they would rather have that 1,000 than to lose on that 1,000. So they decrease the price. At times, they can increase the price. So it depends on the forecast of the airline to say, are they usually much more expensive when it's like few days before takeoff, or do they prefer that they decrease the price? It depends on a lot of things. So this airline decided to decrease the price because they're like, either way, at this point, we are gonna lose out if we do not decrease the price. So they got that 1,000. So at the end of the day, how much did they eventually make? 16,000 if they include the 12,000 to maximize the profit. But they could have just easily left it as 66 and no one else would have actually taken the time to book that flight. Okay, conclusion. If you are willing to change your prices, sometimes you make much more money than someone who's rigid and will only charge one price. So that is how we look at revenue. Then we look at revenue management calculations, where we look at how do you calculate the occupancy percentage, where we say actual rooms is actual rooms sold divided by the potential rooms multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. When you're looking at the yield percentage, is actual room revenue divided by the potential room revenue, and you multiply everything by 100. And then actual room revenue is the amount of rooms that are sold multiplied by the average daily rate, how much is usually charged. Then the potential room revenue is equal to the total rooms times the bar rate, of which is usually charged in different times based on seasons. So let's look into this example. So we are given total rooms in a hotel, there are hundreds of them. The rooms that are sold are 75. The average that they charge ADR is 120, and then the bar rate is 150. I ask you calculate the occupancy percentage, the actual room revenue, the potential room revenue, and the yield. Remember, the occupancy calculation is actual rooms sold divided by potential rooms. So how many rooms are actually sold? There's 75 of them that are sold. But how many do we have in total? It's 100. So it's going to be 75 divided by 100 times 100 to get the 75%. So we are put 75%. And then we look at actual rooms revenue. What is the amount that we're going to generate from this rooms that are sold? So it's 75 multiplied by 120, because that is usually what is going to be charged. Potential room revenue, if it was during the season when people are demanding this particular room, it will be the rooms that are sold out, which is the total rooms, multiplied by the bar rate, of which it will give you a 15,000. So how then we calculate the yield percentage? We say actual room revenue, the amount that we're actually generating because of the amount that has been actually sold, or the amount of rooms that have been actually sold, divided by the potential room revenue. So it will be the 9,000 divided by the 15,000 times 100 for you to get a 60%. Okay, then we have more calculations where we're calculating the average daily rate, which is actual room revenue divided by the number of rooms sold. RevPAR is equal to the actual rooms revenue divided by the total available rooms, or occupancy times average rooms. These are the calculations that you need to know before you go to exam, because you might be asked to do these calculations. So we are given another example here to say The actual room revenue is 9,000. The rooms that are sold, still 75. The total number of rooms is 100. Calculate the average daily rate. Then you say the 9,000 divided by the 75 to get the 120, which takes us back to the original values that you were given. Calculate the RevPAR, 9,000 divided by 100, of which is the total number of rooms, then you get the 90. Then the occupancy times ADR, it will still give you the same amount. So please go through the rest where you see which hotel do you prefer. Then you'll see this one has 400 occupancy, 800 people have booked this. But if you look at the amount that they are charging, this one charges 140, this one charges 70. So the one that has a fewer people in their hotel, they are charging more. So you can actually already see that this one is a luxurious hotel, because even though there's not a lot of rooms, but they are charging quite a hefty amount compared to this one. So the room revenue that you generated is 400 times 140 gave you a 56. But this one that had a lot of people in the hotel, they charged far more, less, almost half. Actually, it is half. So then what is their revenue? It's still 100, still at 800 times this, giving us a 56. So which hotel is better? It depends on what you're looking at. It can, sometimes you're going for a luxurious hotel, sometimes you're going just for someone that you're just an individual that just want to sleep one night. So it depends on what is it that you're going for. But in terms of managing the hotel, sometimes less is more, less rooms will generate far more income for you. Sometimes you want to have a lot of rooms so that you can actually be on the safe side. So it depends on what you're looking at. So Hotel A is not worse than Hotel B, because everyone is at a different caliber, but they are always generating the same amount of money. So this is case two. Go through case two and look through the calculations, of which it also still calculate the yield, the RevPAR, the potential revenue, the actual revenue for you to be able to look into. And these other conditions for successful implementation of revenue management. Why do we have to have revenue management? Why is it successful sometimes? Then you can go through this and the technologies that you need to know when it comes to this, and then the segmentation, and then what is GDS. Your homework is to go through the rest of the slides, but the most important things is to know how to calculate. Then the other one, you look at what happens then when there's a low demand. Do we keep offering rates that are discounted? Do we offer packages? Do we encourage upgrades? What is it that you can do in your hotel to see that you still maximize revenue even though it is off season or off peak seasons? Then what happens when there is a lot of demand for your particular hotel? So take time, go through the rest, but we have covered most of what is important. Thank you.